Today I'm making adobo chicken. When I first visited Malaysia, I fell in love with a dish called adobo chicken, and it's actually the national dish of the Philippines. It's said that it was the Malay settlers that arrived on the island. They were the ones that were credited for making this dish, and it was the Spanish settlers who came later that decided to give it the name adobo. Adobo in Spanish is adobar, and that means to marinade. So let's make the marinade. So I've got my chicken here, and I'm using chicken thighs. Don't make it with breast or drumsticks or anything else. The thighs work out best. And leave that little bit of fat on there too, because it renders down and just makes it such a gorgeous flavor. So I put my chicken thighs, boneless, skinless chicken thighs, into a Ziploc bag, and now into my bowl I'm going to put some soy sauce and some vinegar. Then I'm adding some garlic and some bay leaf, and I'm just going to stir all those together. This is our marinade. And this goes over the chicken, and it really needs to sit in there for, well, at least an hour, but best of all, overnight. And just swish that around so it gets nicely marinated. If you're going to marinate it overnight, lay it flat like that. Every couple of hours or so, just go in there and just turn it over, and just turn it over. Every time you go in the fridge, just give it a turn. But let that marinate for 24 hours. My chicken's been marinating 24 hours, and you can see not only has it taken on all the flavors, but the color as well in there started to pick up a little bit of the soy sauce color. So the next thing I've got to do is actually sear the chicken. So carefully, what we need to do is some oil in the pan. Get it nice and hot, and then we can sear the chicken. And I said carefully because, as you can see, it is going to spit a little bit because we are putting liquid into the oil. So just be careful when you do this. Don't throw away the marinade because we're going to use that in a minute. But now the chicken's in, just make sure it fills all the pan, and we can let that get a little color. I'm not cooking the chicken all the way through. I want to do it for about 2 minutes on one side, then we'll turn it over and get a nice color on the other side too. Once it's nicely colored on both sides, we're going to take the chicken out and put it on the plate because we need the pan to cook the onions and the rest of the ingredients. Remember, the chicken's not cooked. It's going to go back into the sauce. So into the pan now, I add a little more oil, and then some chopped onion, some more garlic, and I can stir those around. Next, I'm going to add some brown sugar, some black pepper, and stir that in too. The marinade, I said don't waste. We add that back in there as well. And finally, a little water. We're going to bring all that to the boil. You notice I didn't put any salt into this. We've got the soy sauce, remember, and we're going to reduce this liquid while the chicken's in there right down to a syrup. So now it's time to put the chicken back into the pan. And don't forget any juices. We'll turn this down to a simmer now. And it needs to simmer for about 25 to 30 minutes. And it has to have the lid off, because what we're trying to do is evaporate all those liquids. So we end up with a beautiful syrup that's going to glaze the chicken. And about halfway through, we'll turn the chicken over and let that get all the flavor too. It's been simmering away now for about 15 minutes and already the liquid's reducing right down. So it's time just to turn those chicken thighs over and get the flavor in the other side. You know, we all eat chicken several times a week, and I think that, you know, grilled chicken just gets a little bit boring. So the flavor of this one there, well, this is one of the favorites in my house. Look at that, how it's reducing down. Give that another 10 minutes, it'll be really syrupy. It's been cooking now for about 25 minutes or so, and the sauce has literally reduced right down to a syrup. I've done some rice to actually serve this on, so I'll put the chicken over the rice and then pour the sauce over the top. I can't wait to try it. Now, Mexico has its own version of adobo chicken too, and it's different from the Filipino version. So don't get the two mixed up. And my favorite is the Filipino version. So some rice in the center of the plate. Filipino adobo has a salty, sour, sweet taste. And Mexican adobo is spicier with oregano and chili. Just lift that chicken onto the rice and make sure you don't put the bay leaves in there. And not only does it look incredible, it smells, and I know it's going to taste incredible too. And then over the top with the sauce, with the onions and the garlic. Like many warm countries, the Filipinos invented this way of cooking where they use preservatives in salt and with vinegar to stop the food from spoiling. And it was the soy sauce. The soy sauce is so strong in the dish. And it was in the 1600s when the Chinese traders went over to the Philippines that they actually brought over soy sauce, and that was added into the adobo chicken too. I love the history. I love the history of all the dishes. All that's left to do is a little green onion on there for color, flavor, and texture. All that's left to do is to taste. And how can it not be good? I mean, all those countries, Malaysia, the Philippines, the Spanish, the Chinese, all putting something into this beautiful dish. Look at that chicken, so tender inside, and that gorgeous brown sugar and soy and vinegar and garlic and onion. It's an amazing dish. It's a great chicken dish. It's easy to make. It's not expensive. It'll be a change from just that grilled chicken that you have at home midweek. Hope you enjoy the dish. Try it. Let me know what you think below in the comments. Give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. And share the video with your friends. I'll see you again soon.